certainly honored guests. Trip to Altavilla. About 5 o'clock in the evening, I was at John F. Kennedy Airport in New York. I was waiting for my flight to Palermo. It was a non-stop flight, 747 charter. It didn't have business or first class, so I was in one of the middle seats, and if you're familiar with the middle seats of a 747, they're 10 across, and the center ones are 4. I had the second seat on the right side. I was sitting next to a gentleman in the aisle and 2 ladies on my left. Well, we had a long time to talk and to get to know each other. And after exchanging some pleasantries with the women, I turned to this guy, and it was somebody out of The Godfather. He was totally dressed in black, short and very stocky and square. So I struck up a conversation with him, and his name was Vito. And he started to chew a cigar, and I said, Vito, there's no smoking on the aircraft. I don't plan on smoking it, I plan on eating it. Then the flight attendants do demos. If you've ever flown, you know before a flight they'll do a demo. So she started doing the oxygen masks. And he got out of his seat trying to pull the compartment door out to try to get his oxygen mask. I had him calm him down and sit him down. He said, no, Vito, those deploy if you're in an unfortunate situation. They're not designed to be checked or to be pulled out. Then she started to show the aisles, and he got up out of his seat doing this, thinking it was the right thing to do. I said, no, Vito, you need to sit down and be strapped in your seatbelt. And obviously, we're going to take off, and we can't do that unless you're in your seatbelt. Then she was talking about the possibility of an overwater landing to be prepared, oxygen masks, floating devices, and things like that. So I asked the ladies, in case this happened, what are you going to do? They said, well, I'm going to put on as much jewelry as I can. I have pearls, I have gold, I have silver. When I'm in the water, it's going to sparkle and shine. People are going to see me, and they're going to save me. And I turned to the other lady and I said, what are you going to do? She says, well, I have this really bright red dress on my carry-on, and I'm going to put that on, and I'm going to really, really stand out in the water. They'll see me and they'll save me. Then I turned to Vito and I said, Vito, what are you going to do? Now, remember, Vito is kind of square, short, fully dressed in black, black suit, black shirt, black pants. I said, Vito, what are you going to do? He says, I'm going to do nothing. I said, nothing? What do you mean nothing? How are you going to be rescued? He says, well, everybody knows that the first thing they look for is the black box. So after that, we were in flight, and we were going to Palermo. We landed safely. Thank God nobody had to be rescued, because you don't want to land really over water. It was a smooth flight coming in. Our ultimate destination was Altavilla, which is about 12 miles from Palermo. So we had to take a bus. I was on my way to see my cousin, Giuseppe. So we were waiting at the bus terminal. I was waiting at, there was a cafe, Caffè Lettero. So I said, you know, I have a little time to kill. The bus is not here. I'm going to go in and grab a quick espresso, maybe una sfogliatelle, which is like flaky pastry in Italian. And I left my suitcases on the curb where the bus stop was. I came out, and everybody can imagine what happened. They were gone. So I called my cousin Giuseppe, and I said, Giuseppe, my luggages are missing. And he goes, where were you? I was at Caffè Lettero. He says, let me call Franco. And he called Franco and he said, Franco, those are my cousin's suitcases, bring them back. So we got into town. Giuseppe is a strapping, gorgeous young lad. He's unmarried. And everyone is saying to him, Giuseppe, when are you going to marry? Who are you going to marry? So we were in the bar and we ran into Uncle Salvatore. And Uncle Salvatore said, look at all these women here in the cafe I have for you. Pick out 3 and bring them home to, you guess it, Mamma Maria. Half of the women in Sicily are called Maria. And his mother was Mamma Maria. So he picked out the 3 most gorgeous women in town. Education, good looks, they had it all. And he brought them home. And he started to talk with his mother, and his mother got to know him, and they had a full evening to spend together. So then he got his mother aside and he said, Mom, these are the 3 women, I'm going to marry one of these 3. He goes, which one do you think is the one I'm going to marry? And he said, son, that's easy, very easy. You're going to marry the one in the blue. Mom, how could you possibly know that? That's the one I don't like. Thank you very much.